What's up, guys? I'm Dmitry with Canucks, and Phanteks is not forgetting the budget-conscious buyers. They're not forgetting about tempered glass, and they're not forgetting about, some water cooling support in it, because this is the new Phanteks Eclipse P300, following the very similar, structural nature of the P400, which you can check out reviews of below. But this is the P300, a $59 tempered glass enclosure. Let's check it out. Our Computex trip is brought to you by Phanteks, Cooler Master, and MSI. Alright, so there are several reasons why this case is so cheap. The primary one being the power supply chamber that is actually the bottom part of the case. So that reduces the material use internally and externally, as the glass panel is much smaller than normal full-size panels because it doesn't cover that power supply chamber area. The glass mount here, however, is still pretty solid with rubber inserts, thumb screws, and tinted perimeter on the glass to hide the edges. The I/O is pretty standard, dual USB 3 and chrome-plated audio jacks. The front panel is only ventilated at the top and bottom that are covered with a dust filter, behind which there are dual 120 and 140mm mounts, so you could go with a 280mm all-in-one here, and they did manage to reduce the width of the case too by rotating the drive cage towards the front with an appropriate cutout for SATA cables on the right of them, and there's also an SSD caddy behind the motherboard tray. The interior is very basic, but seems to be functional with built-in cable management channel that is part of the frame with several cutouts on it to pass the cables. So this is actually quite similar to the layout we've seen on the S340 by NZXT. There's even a 140mm fan mount at the top with a dust filter, and at $59 you can overlook the lack of rubber grommets, but to flare up it a little bit, there's a very thin power LED right above the Phanteks logo on the left side that is also RGB. Alright, so another cool thing we saw here at Phanteks are the Halos RGB fan frames. Adding really cool and ambient lighting to your non-lit up fans is finally a possibility with 120, 140mm frames. They just simply kind of are inserted on top of them. And the illumination is actually quite nice. It's ambient, it's not harsh in any way. And we have both Halos and Halos Lux. So that's kind of the two versions. The Halos is more a plastic frame, but the Halos Lux is an actual aluminum frame, so this is what we have here, and it's quite beautiful. It's going to be anodized in black, sandblasted color, so the material is awesome, and it will have a little bit of a shine and have a mirror finish on the inside to give it a little bit more of a reflective nature and stuff. And so Phanteks is showing them inside their new N2 Pro Special Edition, N2 Pro M. So it's got the white interior, tempered glass edition, black exterior, and yeah. So what you see here at the top are black blades and white blades for the bottom row to demonstrate how these brackets light up different colors of the fan blades. And the profile of the bracket is actually pretty thin, and the color is nicely ambient, and it's also uniform. You can still make out a little bit of the lighter spots where the LEDs are, but they're not harsh, so that's good. And the brackets can be daisy chained together and connected to either the Phanteks case lighting and be controlled that way, or you can connect them to an RGB header on your motherboard and have full lighting control that way. Two sets of screws are provided to either attach the frame to the fan only, or longer screws to attach the frame to the fan and then to the case. So price wise, it's $10 for the Halos plastic frame for both 120 and 140mm sizes, while the aluminum Lux version is $18 and $20 for those sizes respectively. So it's a bit on the expensive side, but maybe the $10 frames sound like a good way to light up your interior of a case without adding LED strips while still keeping your favorite fans. And finally, this little water cooling part got our attention. It's a thin and a small reservoir pump combo that attaches to either a 120 or 140mm fans and can fit in spaces a bit more comfortably versus more common tube reservoirs. So here at the back, there's an aluminum heatsink that helps to cool the liquid. Plus, if you install a pump inside the bracket itself, the heatsink portion can be relocated to cool the pump also. So for anyone experienced with water cooling, let us know what you think of this prototype. I think the attachment mechanism is pretty good, as you can install it horizontally or vertically on one of your fans, and that seems pretty convenient. So guys, that's it for the P300 coverage. Let us know what you think of it and the fan that is shown in this video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.